All right, man. Let's go ahead and get into this topic of conversation, man. Y'all already know what the deal is, man. We're talking about this situation, this diabolical situation that's going on in the Cleveland Browns situation. Let's get in and see what they had to say about this over at UCSS. And I'm going to give you my opinion as we are watching it in real time so we can kind of break down and see if I agree with them or not on their assessment of this Cleveland Brown situation with Kevin Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel, and Shador Sanders, and the general manager, Andrew Berry, and the owner, Jimmy. Let's kind of get into it right now. Let's see what we got here.
Before we talk about Kevin Stefanski giving up play calling to Tommy Rees, it's a good time to let you know that this episode of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here. Offensive coordinator Tommy Rees coming out the bye week. We play the Jets on Sunday. This is the second year in a row, G, that Kevin has given up play calling duties. How do you see this? Is this a move that says that he's safe, or more of a move that says he's on the hot seat?
Well, I'm really interested on how y'all look at it, because for you guys, I haven't dealt with anything in terms of, like, in my playing career, usually all our moves will happen at the end of the year. And so I'm interested to see how you guys take this in terms of how is this viewed in the locker room. And I think that what they're looking to do is to get a boost and a little shot in the arm, maybe reset some things. It's a different voice. So I'm gonna start with you, Dustin. In terms of him handing the play calling over, what were your thoughts when you heard it, and do you think that they're overall just trying to get a little bit better, just a different voice and a shot in the arm and get a little more energy?
I think they're just trying to do that. They're trying to do something, change it up. I mean, things aren't working, and like the public there's been outcry for some sort of change, and they're not going to fire anybody right now. This time of the year. I mean, to me, it's sort of like Mike said this in the chat the other day. Like, job security must be safe.
That's a thing that's the biggest debate now, because there's a lot of people who have been like, yeah, this offense is not working, and thinking that Stefanski could possibly go down with the ship. But when he turned over the play calling, it seemed like a lot of people was like, yo, does this mean that actually he might be safe? Like, so, I mean, do you think that could save him, especially if Tommy Rees comes out and it looks like it was the right decision?
That's an interesting angle. I mean, it. What do you guys think? I mean, if Tommy Rees balls out, calling plays, like, I mean, obviously, it's going to make Stefanski look poor.
It'll make him look bad in one sense.
But I mean, he's that.
It does make him look
he's
bad.
Not getting fired. If the team starts to turn things around and the offense plays well, then maybe that's just a win for everybody, because the offense is playing better. Tommy Rees, he ain't going nowhere right after this season. You bring it, then you run it back.
You know what? And a lot of people may look at me and say, I would probably use this as a situation where I'm like, man, that's a strike against Stefanski. But I chilled. I listened to it overnight, and I thought about it like this from this angle. If Tommy Rees comes in, and my goal is I want the offense to jump Tyvus. I want it to look good, and I just want points. I think a lot of people at this time period, it's just thinking like, yo, I need to get something. If I don't care where I get it from. If it ain't Stefanski and Tommy Rees is calling plays and it looks good, then I don't understand how Stefanski couldn't get credit for that, because obviously he made the choice. He's the coordinator, and he's going to benefit from looking at them points, right?
So I look at it like this. I look at this situation like I remember having this conversation in the offseason when we were talking about quarterbacks, and I was explaining to y'all. I said, I think that Kevin is something with the communication with Kevin and the quarterbacks, because the one thing he preaches about is not turning the ball over, but all his quarterbacks was turning the ball over and things like that. So I was like, maybe they need to get another voice in there, because maybe it's just not, he might be saying the right thing, but for some odd reason, the quarterback's just not comprehending what he's saying. So you just need a new voice in that locker room, right? So I thought maybe with the Tommy Rees thing. Now, Tommy Rees they had to go to him at some point, because this was a guy, we fired Ken Dorsey, and we had the opportunity to go get any play caller out there, and you said, no, we're going to keep Tommy Rees. because everybody else wanted Clint Kubiak. Where is he at? He's with the Seattle, and they tearing it up, tearing it up in Seattle. So at some point, it's like, well, you wanted this guy. Let's give him let's show us why you wanted him to be the OC. Give him an opportunity, because when you had AVP and AVP called the game, they won. All right, now it's time. Ken Dorsey, he won games, but then let
me just say this, man. Clearly, what's going on is that Kevin Stefanski has lost control. Kevin Stefanski has lost control, and Kevin Stefanski has a problem where he wants to be the head honcho. He wants to be the ruler. He wants to be the dictator that controls everything. He clearly, what it has shows up to now is that he doesn't know what the hell he is doing. Clearly, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have a clue. And now you're grasping for from straws, and you have to make certain adjustments to see if you can salvage what you can salvage to make yourself look good. Because on one end, it could be that he had to make this adjustment to keep his job. But then on the other end, it's probably like, you know what, let me hand this over to the offensive coordinator where I still have the power to pick and choose Tommy. And then if he does well, it's going to make me look good because I'm the one that's making the decision to do so. To me, it's hogwash. The whole thing stinks and it reeks of you don't know what you're doing. You don't have a clue. So now you have to make these adjustments because you know if you don't make these adjustments, you're going to get fired sooner rather than later. It's just that simple.
Obviously, it fell off. Let's see what we got with Tommy Rees. So I like the fact that they're going to Tommy Rees for this reason. Tommy Rees has only been out of college for 2 years, right? This is his second year in the NFL. So that means that he's pretty close to being able to break down the game from an NFL standpoint to relate it to college kids that just came out. So you got two quarterbacks that's young that might not truly understand the NFL verbiage, but if I tell it to them in the college verbiage, they might be able to get that and be able to translate to the field. So when you think about Dillon and you think about Shedeur, those two guys being young guys, they say the whole thing with Shedeur was, oh, he can't understand whatever the case may be. Well, Tommy know how to tell it to him in a way that he would understand it. And Dillon just came out of college. He probably would understand it. So I'm very interested to see how this play calling turns around, because if it is successful, one, you have to give Kevin that credit because whether or not the decision came from upstairs or not, Kevin was like, you know what, it's not working with me. I have to let somebody else be the voice in there. And it allows Kevin to go do other things, to go get the mood up, to make sure everybody on the defense is still hyped up. Make sure, look at the game and be like, all right, this guy, I need to go pull this guy to the side and say something to it. I can't do that when I got a play sheet in front of me. I think Sean King might have been the one that was talking about how he was overwhelmed with all the responsibility. So this frees up a little responsibility for him. And now he's able to focus his area on trying to make sure that the morale of the team is up. So I actually give Kevin a bunch of respect and credit for being able to do this. I just hope that Tommy Rees can get through to this offense and to these quarterbacks and stuff, because like it's crazy that with Dillon Gabriel, everybody got their opinions on him, and I think Sean again pointed out that he said that he wouldn't be a good NFL quarterback because all he threw was screens and then threw deep passes off those screens. Well, if that's his strength, why are we not seeing him being utilized to that strength? That's the part that was just so confusing to me, is that you're trying to make him be something that he's not, just
because he doesn't have it. He's not an NFL quarterback. It clearly shows it. He's not an NFL quarterback. He clearly has a noodle arm. He's a little leprechaun. He can't see over the defense. And then the thing is, Kevin Stefanski was the one that was singing high praises on Dillon Gabriel. Let's don't forget about that. I want him to stay on point to what's really going on. Kevin Stefanski is the one that labeled the leprechaun Dillon Gabriel as he is the Dem de la Creme. He is the next savior that's going to take the Cleveland Browns to the next level. Kevin Stefanski, that's Kevin Stefanski's guy. He's the one that says that he is quick, he is intelligent, he knows how to get the ball out quickly, he knows how to read the defense, and he makes quick decisions, and this is what we need at quarterback. He clearly made a distinguished situation between Dillon Gabriel and Shador Sanders. Let's don't move past that. Let's call a spade a spade. Period.
Play him and let him do what he does best.
It's like they're trying to okay, they've got this idea of what their offense should be or supposed to be in this framework of what Stefanski wants to run. And they say, okay, well, we're going to see if you can fit this offense.
Right.
Not like we're going to change that.
Correct.
For you.
And I feel like a good play caller should always look at the quarterback and say,
what do you do well? What do you do well?
That's why I gave Brian Daboll all that credit with Josh Allen, because he said, you know what? Throw that out. We just gonna make something for Josh Allen because this ain't working. You can't pick this up, so let's just make something for you. Like, that's what a good play caller should do. With Tommy Rees being so young, like, he don't really have his own thing established on the NFL level yet, so it's still flexible for a Dillon Gabriel or a Shador. So he should be able to adjust his playbook and be able to make it work, I think. Now, this could be all just Tyvus trying to be optimistic, and it could all just blow up. But at least I feel like I can see the vision of why they made this change.
I ain't hating. I'm not no hater. I mean, let me just keep it real, man. Listen, if Kevin Stefanski want to sit on the sideline and he want to go from meeting room to meeting room and be a CEO, I ain't got a problem with no CEO. You know why? I got Jim Shorts. I already know what he about. And if you got a young, hot coordinator and he's been looked at as one of the coordinators that was going to get a job, I got respect for him. You know why? Because he served under Nick Saban. And Nick Saban, if you watch any type film or any sort of commentary from Nick Saban and they got cameras rolling, Nick Saban will be in a meeting room and he be talking spicy to everybody, all the coaches. He said, hey, coaches, man, why don't we understand this is period 3? Did you guys explain the drill to you guys? They're like, no, we waited till we got out here to explain what we're doing. He said, no. You wasting time. Why? You're supposed to already in the meeting room have these dudes ready and know what the drill is so you can maximize your time. We ain't got no time to be out here messing around. In half the period, you trying to explain what you want. So he has a level of thought process and accountability that he puts in pressure. He puts on those coordinators. Look how he was going at Lane Kiffin. Look how Steve Sarkisian, these is masterminds. And Saban was like, nah, I'm in your ear. If he says Tommy Rees is going to be a head coach one day, I'm going to take his word for it. So I want to see what he's going to do, because now if I'm getting points, I don't care if Kevin Stefanski want to stay. That's my whole point. I want the points. I want the results. So, hey, look, you stay over there, but can you get these quarterbacks ready?
So, over the years, remember we talked about what's Jason.
See, and Bush is right on point with that. See, the thing is that this was always a Kevin Stefanski problem. Kevin Stefanski was the problem. Let me say this again. Kevin Stefanski is the problem. And because of his hard-headedness, and because he is stubborn, and because he has an ego, he is one of the main reasons, and should be one of the main reasons, why the Cleveland Browns are struggling. He hasn't shown no type of leadership attributes and bringing forth a winning culture to this organization. He has brought turmoil to this organization. He has brought a lot of controversies when he talks to the media, and it's the way he talks to the media. It is the way how he disregards one of his own, which is Shador Sanders, by not even mentioning his name. See, it starts from the top. It starts from the tops. It starts from the owner, where he made the stupid behind remark regarding to Shador Sanders wasn't his pick. Then it goes from Andrew Berry, who act like the cat done took his tongue and doesn't even want to speak on the situation. Then it goes to Kevin Stefanski, who is sitting here talking about Dillon Gabriel's my guy. My focus is not on the other quarterback. He can't even mention his name, which is Shador Sanders. But this is why you're not winning, is because your attributes. It's because your ego. It's because your hard head. Just because you only want what you want, but you don't care about what the team needs. That's the difference. You're talking about creating a winning culture in your organization. And Kevin Stefanski is a prime example. You don't do the things that he does, because if you do, you're going to kill your organization, and it's not going to be a winning culture.
He sat here and he will always talk about, like, I'm not going to argue with firing them if you want to fire him and all those things. But he says that one of his main points is he likes Kevin because Kevin, if you give him the roster, he's been able to make things happen. And he's been the best coach that we've had that's managed the chaos in Berea. Okay. But we can all admit that over the past couple of years, the play calling for him has kind of declined.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's still really good at managing the chaos and getting everybody focused, then the right decision is, all right, the play calling is not my thing no more. It's not my strong suit, but I can continue to still get the players ready to play, and I can still manage Jimmy and AB and all the chaos that's going on. That's his strong suit. So put him in that situation where he can thrive in that and not also have to worry about making sure that he's got to call the right plays on game day. I think so. I think to me, it was time. It's time. Yeah. I think at this point in Kevin's career, unless he just gets fired and goes back to being a strictly offensive coordinator, I think the play calling thing is a done for him for right now.
So let me ask you a question in terms of the move. Do you believe, like you say, they ripped up the sheets, ripped the paper up, and went to some other things with Brian Dable? Do you feel like Tommy Rees really has teeth? How much control does he have? Does he have control over which personnel play? Does he have control on the game plan? Does he have control on what third downs, ins and outs, putting the plays together? Do you think he has the autonomy to truly be the offensive coordinator? I
think the answer should be yes to that, because if you truly want to evaluate people, because at the end of the year, everybody gonna be evaluated, and everybody got to speak for themselves. If he truly want to show that he's a valuable asset, you have to give him that range to be able to draw his things up, call his own personnel and things like that. Don't get me wrong, Kevin's in the room. Mm-hmm. Kevin's on the edge set. He's going to hear all these things, and he ultimately has veto power to say, no, we're not doing that. This is what we're running. But for the most part, I would say 80% of the game should be Tommy Rees doing what he wanted to do, because if it's successful, because that's really what it comes down to. Mm-hmm. He comes out here against Jets, and this offense is going up the field, and they putting up points. Like, the more you do, the more the more I can fall back some more. And I think that's where Kevin needs to be. Like, figure out, all right, let me see how he do against the Jets. It's a very winnable game. Let's see how he does. They putting up more than 20 points. All right, let me fall back a little bit. Now I can continue to work on, the team, building the team and things like that. So I think that for this first game, I would say it's probably going to be like 60-40 of Tommy Rees, but with 40% of Kevin still being there. But I think for the majority part of this, it should work, and he should continue to fall back more. Kevin, I'm saying.
What do you think we're going to see? Do you think there's going to be a drastic change?
Probably not.
No,
not on the first game.
No, I don't think it's going to be a drastic change. I think it's going to be more of along the lines of, there might be some. I think first of all, the Browns' scripted plays is always cold. The first scripted plays, they're the best offense in the league. They score all the time. Like, the question is, I want to see how he comes up with the rest of the plays and the adjustments that he has after that, and what type of game flow, the flow of what he calls. I'll give you an example, Dustin. When they played the Patriots, we know Josh McDaniels. We've seen him play, coach, and obviously we're from the same area. Not he hadn't been a great head coach, but the thing that's undeniable, he called the hell out of some plays.
Oh yeah.
So the way he layered that together in that second half, it was boom, I'm setting this up, then I'm setting this up, then I got this. Oh, you forgot about this, and boom, 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 down the field, touchdown, game over. I'm looking to see what his play sequence is and the flow that he calls in the second half when things is.
I also wonder, will Stefanski still have involvement on that opening script? Because that's what Stefanski's always been good at doing. Mm-hmm. That's why the Browns usually score like the first drive, and then they don't score the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if he'll still have like an active role in that capacity.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the room. I think, and it's, for what it's worth, like, I think this is different from. I'm going to say this is different from last year, because I know people bring up the fact that he's done this twice in a row. I think the reason he did it last year with Ken Dorsey was Deshaun Watson was like, I didn't like this offense. And he was like, okay, Deshaun's not here. What else we got to lose? Let's go to Jameson and let Ken do some things, right? But Ken was never looked at as a candidate like Tommy Reese has been looked at as a candidate. He's never been looked at as a guy that can potentially just get a job. And if he does well, I do think if Tommy Reese comes in with a 2-6 record and he has either Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel successful, I think he will get another job next year.
You think somebody will take him as a head? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I talked to Jason yesterday. He said there's people around the league that feel like in college he's a hot name.
Oh, for sure. That's why that would happen last year.
Yeah,
when there was job openings. I think Mary Kay told us that he had a bunch of head coaching opportunities in college, and I think if I remember correctly, I think it was rumblings about Mike Vrabel wanting to take him with him when he went to the Patriots.
Earl, we got another related super chat to this topic.
Man, let me just tell you this. I think at the end of the day, you have to do something. At the end of the day, to me, Kevin Stefanski doesn't get any props because this is what a head coach is supposed to do. If you're not getting it done and you're the offensive coordinator, you're the head coach and the offensive coordinator, and you see how your offense is struggling and can't put up points on the boards, it's not just your play calling. That's half of it. It is your bad play calling, but also it is who you have at quarterback. Let's don't see what we don't want to do is create a distraction and just say that it's just Kevin Stefanski. It's not all about just Kevin Stefanski. You also have to have a decent quarterback who's in that position that is able to execute the plays that you're calling. Yes, 50% of it is bad play calling, but also the other 50% is that you don't have a quarterback in there right now that can execute at a high level. Let's call it for what it is. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's don't dance over that. Let's keep the pressure applied on where it needs to be.
We got from the chat.
Smooth STP says, do we know if Reese have the same feelings about his quarterback room as Stefanski? Is Kevin going to listen to Reese's input on which QB can run the offense?
He definitely gonna roll Dillon Gabriel out there until Dillon Gabriel just completely does not have it. That's because he's a 3rd round pick, and when you're a 3rd round pick, you get special benefits, and that's part of the benefit. Because once you move off of Dillon, that means you're saying he's the backup, he's not the franchise guy. Let's see what we got with Shedeur. And again, this is a top 100 pick. So you better make sure that he ain't that guy. So he's going to he's got a long leash.
Earl, let me ask you a question. How many more games do we got in the season? After counting this week.
2-6, so 9.
So we got 9 more games. Okay, so we got 9 more.
I told you Vegas.
9 more games, right?
Vegas, 2 more weeks.
So Dillon Gabriel has played how many weeks?
4.
So he's played 4 weeks.
I think.
Is that 4?
I think
correct. It's 4, right? Dillon Gabriel has played 4 games. So that means he'll play this game against the Jets. That's 5 games. Mm-hmm. Here's what you did.
I'm giving him 6.
So here's what you up against. And I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. What you up against? Go ahead,
keep it 100, Bush.
Rightly or wrongly, you already know how I feel about it. You ain't gotta ask me my question about it. So you already know what I'm on the record saying. But for them, they looking at it like this, fellas. Hey, I can't have my guy only getting 5 times or 4 at this point. I can't have my dude getting that, because that means if he comes out 5 times, that means technically you would be at Shedeur Sanders at what, 8?
You saying he'll get 8 games?
If say they made a move after the Jets game. They made a move after the Jets game.
What I say was left 9.
9.
So he get 4.
No, man, do the math.
See, this is player. We doing mental math. Where's Bull J when we need him? That's 8, right? I told you that was 8.
That's 8.
So that means your guy would get 5 games.
Yeah, no.
Your not guy would get 8.
No.
Nah, he not.
I don't have a guy.
No, I'm talking about Stefanski. So them, you know what I'm saying? So to them, and I'm just breaking it down from their perspective.
I don't have a guy.
Because they thinking like, okay, if this is my dude, how can you justify only giving him 5 when the guy that you say is not your man is getting 8? They like, listen, we at least gotta. The only way they're gonna make that move, and I'm telling you like this, it's actually the funny part about it. See, now Stefanski is either propped up a little bit more because now he got enough time to advocate. He got enough time to be not put game plans together and telling AB and the owner why we should still stay the course. At this point, he's gonna have to throw 5, 6, 10 picks. He's gonna have to look bad.
Come on, Dillon.
Yeah, before Tommy Rees says, yeah, we're gonna make a move, and I don't even think he has the complete power to even make that move. He may have a little insight.
That move is coming from upstairs.
That's an up top move. Yeah, that's an up top move. So the answer
it solely depends on what the attendance looked like against the Baltimore Ravens.
Tyvus has already had a crystal ball. He said the first game he gonna play is against who?
Vegas.
The Raiders, right? Yeah.
He's gonna play against Vegas. They're gonna come back, and it's against San Fran. We down. We got 5 home games. That'll put us at 4 left. We got to get some money on that. We got a dome to build.
So that means
we got a dome to build.
So that means
sit here. The only person that's gonna bring the city out is 12. So let's go ahead and 2,
3, 4. That's 5 games right there. What's next after? That's still a lot. That's a lot. I be forgetting how the football season is, bro.
It's long as hell.
I mean, it's long. I mean,
NFL is. I mean, like college is damn over.
Yeah, they start so early. It's high school.
My season's like over. Like I've got 4 games left.
Earl, you got another super chat?
No more super chats. We can move on to the next topic if you all don't have any more thoughts on this.
But here's what to put a bow on it. I'm actually literally excited, fellas, that I get to see something different.
I think we all are. That was the point.
I think
that's the point of trying to. Does you as a fan feel that way?
Yes.
A locker room feel the same way because it's like we can't just keep doing this.
Yeah, there was a point when you covering the Browns. It's always a point of no return where it's just like, you get tired of the same topics, man, and it's just like how bad. I mean, how many ways can you say the Browns is bad? You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, let's figure out.
At the end of the day, guys, in my closing, it's this right here. At the end of the day, Kevin Stefanski doesn't gets no props from me based off on him making the decision, whether this is coming from him or whether this is coming from up top, whether it's the general manager, Andrew Berry, or whether it's Jimmy, the owner. At the end of the day, you have to make the necessary adjustments to put your team in the best position to win. Come on, man. You don't get no props as a head coach for that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you get paid millions of dollars to do. Period. Play, coach the game, control the narrative, do it in a way that's going to uplift your team so your team know in that locker room that we have a head coach that's serious about winning. Up till now, Kevin Stefanski has not shown any adjustments far as to what he's going to do to uplift his team, to show them, not just talk about it, but to show them that he is all in on winning the season. This has been the problem of Kevin Stefanski since the beginning of the season. He was willing to die on the sword, and he was probably forced to make a change in unrelinquishing his power. And I think this probably has little to do with Kevin Stefanski. This has all to do from what's going up top. Kevin Stefanski, give it up. Give it up. Your play calling stinks. But let me tell you, it's not just Kevin Stefanski. It is the quarterback he has in that position, Dillon Gabriel. He doesn't have it. All I'm saying is you wait till Shedeur Sanders gets his opportunity. His opportunity is coming. It's here. It's just a matter of time. See y'all in the next live video, man. Y'all take care, man.